Hey guys, what's going on? So this is a battle from somebody in my clan. It's Ermagerd, and he posted this because the luck on Scrapper is sometimes just insane, and that's just in general. And it's always been like this. It's the reason why some people were hesitant in using it just even in the beginning, and I remember when people first started using this with Inquisitor, the God Hand was an Inquisitor summoning in on a tile that you wanted, and then getting a Scrapper. And then all you do is you just eat literally everything until it becomes a level 7, and then you start building the rest of your board. That was the absolute dream. And sometimes that's kind of what you have to do. If you're gonna run Scrapper with Inquisitor, specifically Dark Inquisitor, because sometimes you just get luck like this. Because this luck is insane. This this non-luck. This bad luck is insane. And it's okay for the first couple of them, and it might be okay for the next 4 or 5, but this just keeps going, and it's I was just watching this and I was there has to be a better strategy than this. Right there, he had to manually get to a level 2 because he's using the successful shift talent as opposed to the combining him and then they become a higher level. And that's specifically because he's using the waste free. So now his 2 can eat anything below it. I think I would still go, if you have the second talent, I think I would go engine, the recycler, and then the guarantee one. But it's possible that, you can get double merges, or you can get more merges out of having the other one, so I get why you would use the other one. I just like having, the mega control. But he basically sacrifices most of his units down to three units. Just the Dark Inquisitor, the Knight Statue, and the Chemist. And that's it. And he just cannot get a random hit to land on the Inquisitor. And I feel the debate right now that Scrapper has talents and it's the cool new thing, and this happens every time they release some big update or a new patch note that's major, there becomes a debate oh, should I use this cool new thing as opposed to the old terrible thing that doesn't work and it's awful and they nerfed it, which is Dryad in this case. And I feel most people will then just switch to whatever the cool new thing is without thinking about oh, maybe the old thing is still very good. I think because he's using just all he cares about upgrading is the Dark Inquisitor, I think that there's an argument to be made that he should just be using Dryad. I think that if he just used Dryad, or and then there's this debate now, do I just use Dryad or do I just use Scrapper, or do I actually use both? You're not supposed to use both, but it's the idea of that the written idea that you're not supposed to use both because where it says if you use Dryad in a Scrapper deck, then the Scrapper has more merges. That isn't as bad as you might think it is. It's not Harlequin Mime bad, where Mime just is it Mime? Clown. Harlequin Clown. It's not like Harlequin Clown, where Clown just straight up doesn't work in a Harlequin deck, or Enchant Sword, giving times 5 less bonus if you're using it with Knight Statue. I think that the Harlequin with Dryad debate, I think you can still do it. And because sometimes you just can't play a game like this, where you're trying to Scrapper, and you get a level 7 Chemist, and you get a level 7 Knight Statue, before you get a level 2 main DPS card. I mean, at this point, it's just Chemist DPS. It's just, and you can blame this on RNG, but we have enough cards in this game to where RNG shouldn't be a thing. like you have Harlequin and you have Dryad and you have all of these things that can control your field. And for this to happen specifically because of Scrapper's random upgrading pattern, because this could happen. This could happen. And even, like, I was gonna, like, steer this video into the realm of saying, like, oh, if you use Scrapper, you shouldn't use it in a one-unit deck, like a Crystalmancer or like a Dark Inquisitor kind of deck. You shouldn't use it in a one-unit deck. But then even when I use it in, like, a Blade Dancer deck, I could literally post a Blade Dancer video that I just did, and I had a level, like, 3 Trapper, a level 2 Night Statue, a level 4 Night Statue, like, 5 level 1 Blade Dancers, right? So even if you use a deck where, you know, like, because you're getting random hits, you can get random things up, you get the more things that are on the field, the more things that have the ability to be leveled up that are good, that's better. Sometimes it still just works out like this. Because I can have, like, a field of 7 Blade Dancers, and then 2 Night Statues, and, like, 1 Night Statue is a level 7, and 1 Night Statue is a level 6, and all my Blade Dancers are level 1s. Like, that can still technically happen. And that's just the thing about Scrapper. It is random. And that idea of random, I feel like there could be an argument to be made that, like, using Dryad and Scrapper is still a viable option. The reason why it's that the specific reason why people won't do it though is because it's not optimal. It's better to run one or the other, and then either a chemist or a trapper or a witch or a night statue or an enchant sword or a summoner. There are so many other support cards that add to your late game damage that running 2 things that solely have the sole purpose of just leveling up. I know that Dryad gives you a plus 15% or plus 30% now, and you can technically get damage from the Recycler if you're using Recycler on Scrapper, but that's not comparable to the 75% Trapper armor reduction. It's not comparable to the 100% armor reduction from Chemist. It's not comparable to the massive amount of damage that you're getting from Witch if you decide to use Witch instead of one of those. Or it's not comparable to, like, Enchant Sword, right? Like, you have the options to get all of these other things to push you into the even later game than the late game. Like, I think the late game is like triple bosses, but the even later game are these games that are doing plus 10 billion damage. Like, you might be able to, like, get to 10 billion damage, or 5 billion damage, or 2 billion damage if you're running both. There's so many cards that all sound the same. Scrapper and Dryad, if you're running Scrapper and Dryad. But then what will happen is, because you're not pushing damage, because you don't have other support cards, what will then end up happening is you're just going to lose in the even later game. You're not going to get to those 10 billion damage numbers, those 50 billion damage numbers. And that is the real debate on whether or not you want to push your damage that far, if you have to sacrifice waiting this long to upgrade your Dark Inquisitor more efficiently. Obviously, with Dryad, you'd be able to upgrade it, like, really efficiently at the beginning of the game. You would not lose any game. But, like, he could have easily have been playing against, I don't want to say a Shaman deck. Shaman decks are kind of, like, done right now. But he could be playing against a Toxic deck, and if, like, the Dark Inquisitor at any point could have gotten hit by red guys. It could have literally have gotten hit by, like, 2 red guys, and he would have lost it. And that's just something that you have to think about. I don't think it's as clear of a decision as I might have once thought. That, you know, like, oh, Scrapper is just purely better. The more games that I play with Scrapper by itself, you start to kind of miss that targeted, I need to upgrade this card right now. And when you don't get that, in the case of, like, this game, like, he got it eventually, but, like, when you don't get it, and you're running through that much mana, it just feels bad. But yeah, I think the question on whether or not Scrapper or Dryad is better, or which one you should use, I think that right now it feels like a very constantly shifting answer. Like, there are obviously some decks that will benefit from one or the other. Like a Monk Equilibrium deck is never going to run Scrapper. You're going to run Dryad. If you're running like an Inquisitor, Covenant of Veteran deck, or a Spirit Master deck, you're always going to run Scrapper. But I think that this debate of like which one is better, it's not as easy to answer because there's a lot of different factors. I'll catch you guys next video.